Good day. So today I'm going to present our thesis entitled Design and Development of Thermoelectric Power Bank using oil burner and other heat generating materials. So Chapter 1 Introduction. People nowadays are indeed living in the truly rapidly changing world. These days living is as challenging as people face different situations in life. These situations make them think what things should be done in order to adapt changes. And these changes make them devise different inventions so that living would become easy. On the other hand, the changes that people face merely bring them unbearable consequences that might cause deterioration of their property and loss of their health, and which put their lives to death. So, with the help of technology, we indeed behold devices around the world. There are lots of such things. In fact, we use and we see them from other people. This kind of system eases the way of doing everyday's job and responsibilities. Scientists, engineers, and other inventions design new inventions so that they would be able to help society progress the way or progress and ease the way of living in the world. So the researcher decided to devise a devise an invention that would literally help the people to think what are the alternative way in order for them to charge the battery or charge their power bank. So since we are using um mobile phones and other cable type devices. So the researcher thought of a device that would literally help them in the times that when the electricity is not around or is not available in the area or in the community. So there's no worry about the short period of charging mobile phones batteries. The researchers focus on thinking a device that gives electricity so that the battery in low or high capacity would be conveniently charged for a long period of consumption. This device is considered for battery charging system. This device aims to provide more power for the battery to function in a long period of time. So let's talk about the related literature in chapter 2. The project proposed to provide effective device that could be a source of electricity for a long time use of other devices. This is the idea of using oil burner to produce electricity for charging mobile phones and other chargeable devices need to be recharged. It is also designed for other heating materials that could be used as burner to generate electricity. So there are some literatures that the researcher based his idea that widened the researcher's idea and concept about designing and construction of about designing and constructing of the device, which is the power bank. This one is thermoelectric energy, Seebeck effect, Peltier effect, Thomson effect, and Peltier thermoelectric power generator, and oil and salt as a burner, candle as a light burner, and wood chips. So these are some examples of literature that literally help the researcher to think or to expand his idea in making or in designing the device. So what are the methodology? In this chapter 3, so we're going to be talking about the methodology that the researcher would be able to use so that the design and the construction of the device would be successfully made. So for the research design, the researchers and experiment method for this study, the researchers would use oil and salt, candles, and wood chips as heating materials to generate electricity. They, they would also use a power bank with 20,000 milliamp per hour capacity, a voltage regulator, four peltiers, and a mini fan in order to have power and to answer the problems. So in chapter 3 methodology, we have the research design, sources of data, research procedures, planning and designing, preparation of material and construction, pre-testing, modification and finalization, and final testing. And of course, the conceptual framework. So we all know that conceptual framework is a guide for the researchers and designers to create the device or the project. So in the figure, it shows the conceptual paradigm, which has input. So from the feedback, we have going to the input, which is the internet, the theories, the books, and ideas. Going to the process, planning, design, modification, construction, revision, and testing. And lastly, the output, which is the thermoelectric power bank. So the researcher also reviewed 5 papers so that it would help him to expand his ideas and concepts about his field or about the topic or the research itself. We have the thermoelectric power generation from new materials to devices, the Peltier effect, LED telluride as a thermoelectric material for thermoelectric power generation, smart instant charging of power bank, and lastly, thermal sensors based on the Seebeck effect. So hopefully at the end of the thesis journey of the researcher, he would be able, I know that the researcher would be able to make sure that the research or the paper or the device would be possibly and feasibly made and constructed because of the reviews that he had, because of the literature that helped him expand his ideas about the concept of thermoelectric power bank. Thank you so much.